91,000 miles. So start typing your questions. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I'm your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. All we focus on doing here is making sure you have the online strategies necessary to get better car deals than everyone is getting out here. You may hear people saying there's no deals. There's tons of deals. When you know how to shop and know how to make deals compete, like we're about to be telling you how to do it, you're going to get deals much easier than you ever got them before. And you'll be wondering why you weren't shopping like this in the beginning. So we had our first question coming from TikTok. I want everybody to start typing your questions, and we'll get through as many as we can. But if this is your first time on the live with me, I want you to type the number 1. Welcome to the first time people. If you've never been on a live with us before, we appreciate it. We don't waste time here. We get right to the business. Okay. So somebody asked, is it okay to buy a car with 91,000 miles? It's a 2021 Nissan Altima. First thing you want to do is find out if this vehicle is a good car, even with the mileage or without. There are vehicles out there that are bad cars, whether they've been taken care of or not. You want to go to Google and you want to type in 2021 Nissan Altima reliability. Skim the articles. Just the first page. Just take you no more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes will protect you against all types of mistakes, all types of cars breaking down. Because if the car is a bad car, it's in the DNA. It's in the DNA. There's nothing you can do. The first owners could have took care of it, maintained it, did all changes when they were supposed to. That car has a bad DNA, and this is how we find out. Go to Google, type in 2021. Always put the year. 2021 Nissan Altima longevity. After you do reliability, you do longevity. Reliability is going to tell you what they're saying the first 3 years. Longevity is going to tell you what they say about the history of these cars. Now, what you may find out is 80, 90,000 miles, those cars have transmission problems. That's going to be a big deal. Doesn't matter if you see in the reports on Google, first page, these cars typically have transmission problems around 80, 90,000 miles. You're looking at one with 91,000 miles. Isn't that important? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? That's why we do these checks. So you want to make sure that. Now, after that, we narrow these things down based on title history, service records. These are the most important things you need to be looking for to make sure you're getting a quality car. We're not talking about pricing yet. Pricing means nothing if you got a bad car. You get what I'm saying? Who cares about, I got a good price on the car if the car is in the shop every 3 months? Who cares, I got a great price on this car. I paid less than everybody. It was a below market price, but it's breaking down on me every 6 months. So these are the steps we take to make sure we're not getting a bad car. Longevity check, initial quality check on Google, and then we're narrowing our search down. These cars better have great title histories. We don't want rebuilt titles, salvage titles, frame damage titles. Now we move into service records. That's why we only do Carfax. Carfax is the only vehicle history report right now that shows you service records. You do not want to buy a vehicle that has gaps in service. Doesn't matter what they tell you. I changed it myself. I changed the brakes and oil myself. Sorry, not good enough for me. That shouldn't be good enough for you either. Because if you can't prove that they serviced that car, not only are you taking the risk, one day you're going to turn around and sell it, unless you drive it till the wheels fall off. But even then, you might sell it for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever. You don't have service records. That hurts your resale value. Versus getting a car that was serviced, taken care of. Thank you, Joe. Now you get it, you service it, take care of it. Now, 7, 8, 10 years later, you're selling it to the 3rd or 4th owner, and they can see service records from the moment the vehicle was bought. So these are the things, and this is everything I'm teaching is inside my new digital book. Some of you have Googled it. It's called Cars from Home. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated all over Goodreads. Thank you to everyone who's written a review about it or rated it. So you can see it. You can get your copy of the book for 75% off. That's my welcome offer. That's my book launch offer. 75% off for 30 minutes. You go to my TikTok bio, click the picture of me, go to my Instagram bio. You'll see a website. Get your 75% off, get your book, and then come back to the show. And make sure after you get your book, you screenshot the thank you page, because it has my support team's email. Because sometimes you'll type your email too fast because you're trying to catch the, trying to get the 75% off, and then we can't email you the book. Also on that thank you page is the link to open your book too. So YouTube, we have a link pinned for you in the comments, and then Facebook, we have a link for you guys to get your 75% off. So let's go. I see we got a lot more questions coming in. Go ahead, Dolan, pull the next one in. These are simple things to do. Party man, good to see you. Is it better to pay money down or trade a vehicle in on a new car? Great question. Party man asks, is it better to put money down or to trade a vehicle in for a new car? Now, there's a curse word he just used. Some of you, if you've been on the stream before, you know the curse word. What's the curse word? Let me see if anybody on here, he just used the word that we don't use. And I want you, big part of unlearning is learning to is unlearning what they've taught you to do. The car business has taught you to do. There's a word we don't use. Yes, thank you, Kenyatta. Trade. I love my people who locked in. I can tell my people who locked in. They either in the book or they on the stream. We don't use the word trade. Good to see you, Mama B. Here's why we don't trade. You don't get anything. All right, let me give you an example. Let's say I want to get rid of this iPhone. Trading it, would I get more money trading it, or would I get more money listing it online to sell it? Selling it or trading it? Which would I get more money for? I want to type in the comments. And some of you who are new to the stream, you got to stay by your keyboard because we're active here. You don't accidentally save $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 on cars. You got to be locked in. So dialogue. Thank you. Sell. Thank you, Mama B. Thank you, Party Man. Thank you, Stephen. See, so that is a basic premise that you now know. Now, what they told us in the past is if we wanted to sell our cars instead of trade them, we had to sell them privately. Facebook Marketplace, we had to let people come through, strange people, they're in our cars. Hey, hey, you mind if I drive this on the highway? All of this stuff. We don't want that. Now there are big companies that cut checks on the spot. CarMax. In my book, I teach you how to do something called the equity assessment. This is one of the most important things you have to learn about separating your transactions, which is I'm not going to buy a car from the same person who buys my car because we're bidding this out. So anyway, it's called the equity assessment. There's 6 companies that we get bids from. Takes us 20 minutes. They are CarMax, Driveway, Carvana. Open your notepad so you know this. If you're trying to keep notes, this is where you want to make sure you're jotting this stuff down. These are all thousands of dollars. Somebody who was going to go trade their car into the dealership and the dealership was going to give them $13,000, you're going to do the equity assessment and you're going to get $16,000. But you got to lock in. CarMax, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Carvana, and AutoNation. So Driveway, Carvana, CarMax, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, and Car Gurus. Thank you. Car Gurus. That's 6 offers. This is the only way you want to get offers on your car, because once you get those offers, these are bidders. These are people who they're fighting like tooth and nail to buy cars. That's how you separate your transaction, because when you trade, what you're doing is you're letting the dealer already has, let's say this is the car you're buying. This is the car you're buying. This is your trade-in. There's wiggle room in both of these. Car you're buying, it might have $5-6 grand of wiggle room. Car you're trying to sell or trade, maybe they offer you 12, but they know that they could really pay you 14, but they're going to start out at 12. So they got $2,000 over here, 14 over here. Not to mention that another buyer, their best offer might be, all right, we could only pay 14 for this car. Carvana might say we could pay 16 for it. So one dealer's best offer may not necessarily be CarMax's best offer or Carvana's best offer. This is why we separate these. We don't want people mixing our money. Then you have to fight and try to, am I getting the most for your trade? So here's what I tell you, and the down payment is a separate thing. Here's what here's what everybody needs to know about down payments. I want you to understand this. The only purpose for a down payment is to lower your monthly payment. It's not to get you a deal. What's up, EJ? Good to see you. What's up, Keith Wyman? Good to see you. It's not to get you a deal. A down payment, see, we can't, unfortunately, most people, you guys know, I'm the bad news first person. Welcome to the first time people. You're going to understand. Deshone is the person who gives us the bad news first, because if he doesn't give us the bad news, we're going to think we're doing okay, and we're just going to mosey on and keep doing what we've been doing. I have to give you the bad news of how much money you've lost by not selling your cars to companies by trading them. I have to give you the bad news of how much money you've lost by not understanding leasing. I have to give you the bad news of how much money you've lost by not getting banks to bid for your loan instead of just giving the dealer the loan. I got to give you the bad news first, but I don't leave you there. I give you the new strategy. I give you the new way to do it. So when it comes to down payments, you most likely go in and say, man, if I could get my car payment to where I want it at, I think I got a deal. Now, if somebody offers you a car for $30,000, but it's only worth $28,000, but you paid $30,000 for it, but you didn't have to do any money down, was that a deal? I'm gonna let you buy this car for $30,000. You could have got it somewhere else for $28,000, but I'm gonna sell it to you for $30,000, but no money down. Is that a deal? No or no? So you need to know you have a deal before you have a down payment. Watch this. I'm gonna shock you even more. Down payment has nothing, the deal has nothing to do with your down payment. And secondly, whether you could afford the vehicle or not has nothing to do with if you got a deal. Let's go deeper on that. Let's say we all of us, we're in a Bentley dealership, right? Everybody, we're all in a Bentley dealership. We're looking at a $200,000 brand new Bentley, never been driven before. It's right on the showroom floor. They say, hey, good news. Today we got to liquidate. We're going completely out of business. We're out of business. I'm going to give you this Bentley for half price, $100,000. But I need you to come up with 50 grand. Is that a deal? Is that a deal? Look, brand new Bentley, $200,000 on the sticker. They say, oh, we're going out of business. We got to get rid of this. I give it to you for 100 grand, but I need you to come up with 50 grand up front. Is that a deal? Thank you, Jewel. She's like, yes, absolutely. Now look, can we afford it? No. See, and somebody said no, because you're basing that off of your affordability. That's where I'm trying to get you to understand. You're affording the car has nothing to do with if it's a deal or not. The deal is, am I getting a below market price? Is this dealer selling me this used car lower than any other Honda Civic that I could have found? Is this dealer selling me this Ford Explorer lower than any other Ford Explorer? Is this a below market deal? Doesn't have anything to do with down payment. Down payment is just, all right, I'm going to get a loan and I want my payment to be a certain place. See, they and look, I'm a former car salesman. I'm only talking about the wolves. 80% of the people I work with, 80% of the dealers was wolves. 80% of car salesmen in this industry are wolves. That means they will put you in whatever deal makes them money, and you're second. The 20% though are the good people. You don't want to, what they do to you is make you think that if I get your payment to where you want it at, you should be happy. You got a deal. What I'm telling you is now, what's your action steps from now on? You're going to separate your who you buy your car from who you sell your old car to. And you're going to separate where you get your loan from who you buy your car from. These are three separate transactions. So what you just said, party man, to wrap up your question, you're asking, and you didn't realize this, you're asking about 3 transactions. You say, is it better to put money down or trade in a vehicle? Money down, that's between you and your bank. That's between you and who you're getting your loan from. You and the credit union who's giving you the loan. Hey, I found this car over here. They're selling me this car at a great price. I already made sure of it. I shop competitors. I use what Deshone teaches. I got 5 offers. I saw a lot of options. That car is a great price. Boom. Now, let me go get my loan. Car dealers, credit unions, banks. Hey, I want to buy this car over here. It's $29,000. Here's the sheet. Here's the buyer's order. All the details. What do you need? What's your rate? Now you can go to credit union. What's your rate? Bank of America. What's your rate? Hey, Wells Fargo. What's your rate? Navy Federal. What's your rate? Okay. Bank of America, you're the best. Now, what's my payment on that car? Well, right now your payment's going to be about $609 at that price, financing it with no money down. All right, I think I want my payment to be around $500. How much do I have to put down? Well, you're going to have to put down about $6,000. You're working this out with the bank, not with the dealership. If you're working out your payment with the dealership, they control your loan and the car they're selling you. Type $ if you get that. Anytime you are working out your monthly payment to purchase a new car or a used car, and the dealership is giving you your payment, you have let them they are controlling not just the car they're selling you, they're controlling your loan. We don't do that anymore. Find your car, get your loan, sell your car to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, or one of these people. We've had hundreds of people do this. And this is how you maximize your equity. And this is how you make sure you're getting the best price. We don't mix these. Great question, David. He said, what about hard inquiries? In my book, I teach something called the bank bidding war. Now, what you've been taught, don't let a bunch of people run your credit. Do not let a bunch of car dealers run your credit. The bank bidding war, anyone who wants to verify this, you just go right to Google. Type in rate shopping, Experian. Experian's a credit bureau. They have an article, they literally have a blog post that they wrote telling you that within a certain period of time, they say 14 days to 45 days. So we do it in 2 days. When you get my book, you'll see the bank bidding war blueprint I give you, teaching you how to make banks and credit unions bid. Takes 2 days, sometimes 1 day, because we do it after we solidify our best deal on a car. Now we're getting bid. If you do it within the rate shopping window, you can have 10, 15 dealers run your credit, and it's going to affect your score like one hard inquiry. So if one hard inquiry would have dropped your score 10 points, 15 banks competing would drop your score 10 points. But what the banks want you to do is the banks want you to just hey, come get your pre-approval here. Who's realized that pre-approval is the buzzword over the last 2 years, 3 years? I'm gonna get pre-approved. Check this out. The banks are on to you. The banks are on to that. So what they wanted to do to keep you from shopping their competitors, that's the whole game. If you're not seeing it already, we're 15, 20 minutes into this stream. If you can't see, the game is from dealerships and from banks to keep you from shopping their competitors. Now, what do? Get your pre-approval here. Now, they used to offer pre-approvals with a soft pull, but now they're like, you know what? Let's start locking the people in. They do a hard pull pre-approval. Now, what they give you is a check to go and shop, but you have a hard pull on your credit, which means you've already started the rate shopping window, and the pre-approval has what on it? An expiration date. What happens when that pre-approval expires? This is your credit union that you thought, this is my friend. These people are trying to lock you in and trying to keep you from competing. What happens when that pre-approval that you got that says good for 30 days expires? Got to go get another one, right? So what does that mean? Another hard pull, right? Exactly. These are the issues with the way banks want you to shop. So everything we're doing is bringing competition to our car deals. Everything we do, when we're getting bids for our car, competition. I want a bunch of people competing for the car you're selling, not trading. When we're getting bids for our loan, I want a bunch of banks competing for our rates, not just one, not just the dealership. Then when we're buying a car, we're getting multiple offers. And here's the best part. Not just the money. We do this from home. We do this from home. In fact, there's no way you can do this unless you're at home. You can't do what I'm talking about, going into dealerships and banks and visiting them. How long would that take? That's why my new book is called Cars from Home. It's simple. Cars from Home. That's what you want to focus on. So, a couple things we just hit on. Party man, separating our transactions. Who you sell your old car to is different than who you're going to buy your car from, is different than who you're going to get your loan from. In each one of those three transactions, we are using online, the internet, to bid them out. Bidding out who we sell our car to, bidding out who we get our loan from, bidding out who we buy our car from. That's how we get deals like this. Some of you, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. Look, Adina got a Toyota Corolla. She was shopping for a Toyota Corolla. Fast forward, she ended up getting a 2024 Hyundai Elantra, $12K, $365 a month, no money down. You won't see a Hyundai Elantra commercial for a lease that says, hey, come lease a Hyundai Elantra, 12,000 miles per year, $365 a month, drive off. You won't see that. You'll see come lease a Hyundai $249 a month with $3,600 down plus tax and fees. You got to put around $6,000 down and you could get a $350 payment. She did it with no money down, getting bids, staying at home, using what you're going to learn in my book, using my copy and paste strategy. Now, look, you could do it on your own. You want to call around, talk to dealerships, get prices. But here's what I'm telling you. You must shop competitors. You are not going to save the big money. You're not going to get deals like this. Look at Melissa. Equity assessment. Perfect example of someone who did a proper equity assessment. What's up, Noel? Good to see you, Noel. Nathan, good to see you, Lessa. I took possession of a 2025 Honda Pilot EXL before finalizing my lease. Look, my best offer was on my 2018 Sorento, gave me $12,000 in equity from Carvana. She didn't trade. Now here's what we do. Bonus, which she ended up winning. After she found the dealer who sold her the Honda at the lowest price, she asked them, can you match or beat the offer I got? That we do. There's nothing wrong with asking the dealer, hey, the one you're going to buy the car from, they won the bid. Hey, I'm going to sell my old car to CarMax. Hey, they're giving me 12. If you can match it, I'll do it with you. Sometimes they're like, hey, you know what? Let's find a way to get that car. And then most times it's not going to work that way. They're going to be like, man, I can't pay you that. I can't pay you what Carvana's paying. I can't pay you what they're paying. That's fine. But she won. The dealer said, all right, I'll match it. Gave her the $12,000 that Carvana was offering and it was just like, this is what you do. This is how you do it. Separating your transactions, getting bids. All right, let's go. Keep typing your questions in. We'll get to as many as we can. But one thing y'all got to know about us, we don't do quick answers here. This is car buying. So I'll try to get through as many as we can. But, we got to go deep on some of these. Go ahead, Dolan. Pull the next one in. What's up, Yessie? Good to see you, Flo. What's up, Mitchell? Kenyatta, good to see you. Do previous book buyers get an update? Everybody who gets a book gets an update every time I update the book. And I've updated the book probably 5 times since I wrote it. Because we get new websites that come in. We get websites that go out of business. I update the scripts. In my book, I have copy and paste scripts. We don't talk to dealers. Who doesn't like talking to dealers? Who does not like talking to car selling? Let me say, I might have a bunch of people on here who love it. Deshone, I love talking to car selling. It's my thing. I get a thrill out of it. We get people, listen, when I was in the dealership, it was people every now and then, they'd like popping in the dealership. Every 3 weeks, they're back. Hey, let's talk again. It's like, what? You like this? This is the people like that. All right. For those of you, Clarissa, I see you. Mrs. Dixon, I see you. Kanisha, I see you. If you don't like talking to car salesmen, type me. Let us know. Look, somebody said I hate it. Look, Valerie, hate it. These are my entire system in Cars from Home, my book, in what I'm teaching you here, does not require talking to car salesmen about numbers ever. Ever. You are either going to be emailing them or you are going to be talking to a manager. The only time we are talking to car salesmen is when we are there for our test drive. And even in my book, I teach you how to properly schedule a test drive so that you don't get the worst car salesman. Who's ever had a salesman that they talk to on the phone? Hey, I'm coming to drive a Toyota Camry, the XLE. You got one? Yeah. You got the wrong dude. No professional says boss. I'm just telling you. I know this. I know this industry. If you get a dude like, yeah, boss, I got you. Wrong dude. In my book, I find out, schedule it with him. And some of you know, they're laughing because you know I'm right. Very hard to get great service from a guy who calls you boss. Females like, yeah, man, I'm guy calling me boss. I'm a woman. It doesn't matter. You don't call anyone boss. My name is this. So anyway, when you schedule your test drive with someone who's reliable and dependable, you get there, car's ready. What do you mean? We don't talk numbers there? Never. I'm shopping. In my book, you learn something called shopping, not buying. We don't mix those. You've been taught. See, you go out, hey, I'm shopping, deciding what you want. I'm looking at options. I'm test driving. I'm exploring. This is what shopping is. Decide, I want to look at the colors. Okay, all right, I'm going to drive the Chevy. Then I'm going to go over shoot to Honda. All right, I'm going to see which one I like better. Since I'm about to make a decision, some of you more. Hey, I'm going to take the time and look at the product, considering that all of these companies are trying to sell me a car. Let me at least go explore it. That's shopping. Buying is different. Buying is, I've decided what I want. Now, let me get offers. Now, let me get my best price. The process for us for buying is 90 minutes. Online, used cars, everything we teach you in Cars from Home, everything you're going to learn in any of my videos is about a 90-minute process. We are not doing the things that take time. We're not in dealers. You never saw me make a video and say, well, after you've been at the dealership for your 6 hours, this is what you do. You get up and walk away and tell them, hey, you guys are wasting my time. Get up and walk, and you will never hear me say that because I don't do that. All of my cars, I've had 6 leases, probably 4 cars I bought in my adult life. The last 4 of them have been from my house because that's where your leverage is. Your control, your ability to make dealers bid is all from your home. That's where the control is. The minute you step into a dealer and you start talking numbers, you could be talking to an 80% dealer. Doesn't matter how much you negotiate, they're not going below a certain price. That's why everything we teach is the Cars from Home mindset. And the way you're going to win, you got to unlearn the old way. That's why I represent this brand. First thing you got to do if you're going to win with me is you got to unlearn. You got to unlearn. Everything they taught you about car buying, leave that at the door. Trust us, and you'll get the results. Go ahead, Dolan. But yeah, everyone who gets the book gets free updates. Anything new that happens, I just update it. As soon as you open a new file, you'll see, oh, this is a new book. Oh, this website's going. Oh, this website's added. Okay, first-time viewer, welcome. Good to see you. Is leasing a car a bad idea? Pros and cons. Oh, great question. Who's interested in finally, once and for all, knowing when you should lease and when you should buy? Type me. This is a great question. He said, first time viewer, is leasing a car a bad idea? Pros or cons? Who's heard? Okay, I see a lot of you. Who's heard leasing? First of all, everybody, because this is about to get very deep. Can y'all keep tapping the screen on TikTok? Keep running the likes up. This is a big deal. Most of you have been taught, because I know I was in the dealership 14 years. I know you were taught never lease cars. In fact, you got big influencers that got big voices that say never lease a car. Everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook who shares, could you hit that paper plane or hit that arrow and share this with your friend? Because your friend is about to actually go and make a bad decision. You don't even know. God, I didn't even know you was buying a car. Well, listen, did you follow this guy, Deshone? He talks all of this stuff. Well, you didn't share him with me. I didn't know about him. Now look, this is what I'm paying. So share this with your best friend. Hit the share button, because we're gonna go deep on this. So this is step one. Step one in the car buying process is deciding whether you're gonna lease or buy. I see y'all running the likes up. Shout out to everybody tapping the screen. Appreciate you. Step one, before you think about trading your car, selling your car, before you think about what car you're gonna buy, before you go test drive, step one is, am I going to lease this car or buy this car? Why is this so important? All right, let me use something better than this. Oh, we can use this. Now, what you're looking at is what I want you to picture every time you think about buying a car. This is the unseen expense. It's called depreciation. If you buy a car today for $40,000, you don't drive it 1 mile, just park it right outside your house. Park it right outside your house for 1 year. Come back a year later. Is the car worth $40,000? Pay attention. I'm talking to the people that's locked in. Listen, you distracted. You trying to get car advice that's going to save you thousands of dollars, and then on your other tongue you watching Dog the Bounty Hunter on the other screen. You're not going to win. I'm talking to the people that's locked in. So you bought the car. You did not drive it 1 mile. Come back a year later. Everybody said, no, you lost money. You lost money. It lost money. This is the unseen expense. The first step to understanding leasing is to understand this, depreciation. Let's go deeper. You buy the car for 40, drive it 12,000 miles. Is it worth less than if you drove it no miles? Worth less, right? Bought it for 40, drove it 20,000 miles. Worth even less, right? This is the depreciation curve. One of the biggest myths you'll hear people say about leasing is, I don't want to lease because I don't want to pay for the mileage. What you just learned in the last 20 seconds is, whether you lease or buy, you pay for the mileage, correct? From now on, this is step one. This is why you cannot get, and I want to be clear here, you cannot get a great deal if you buy a car, but you should have leased. You cannot get a great deal. And I'm going to explain that. Before we wrap, I'm going to wrap with that and showing you why. I don't care how much they sold you the car for, how much discount you got. If you should have leased, but you purchased, you cannot get a good deal. Your deal structure is wrong. You built the house on the wrong foundation. So now, who has a car in their driveway that they've had more than 8 years? I want you to type the number of years you've had the car into the chat. Only if you had it more than 8 years, not 5, not 4, more than 8 years. All right, Miss Dixon, just got my book. You use it. Congratulations. Use it. Way to go. Now, anyone who's had a car more than 8 years, type the number of years you've had the vehicle in your driveway. Okay, 19. I see you, Antonio. Serafina, I see you, 11. Valerie, I see you, 11. Okay, Miss Bells, I see you, 14. Nicole, I see you, 12. Okay, so all of you who had this, your depreciation curve, watch this. it looks like this. It looks like this. See, when you first get your car, you're losing value by the thousands. Every year you're losing thousands. But the longer you keep the car, depreciation looks like this. So some of you right now, you could go sell your car for $5,000, but a year later, a year from now, you can sell the car for $5,000 or $4,800. My dad's about to sell his truck. It's been worth $5,000 for the last 3 years. Well, during COVID, it was worth more. He could have got more for it, but for the last 2 years, that car has been worth about $5,000. Depreciation, he's beat it. How do you beat depreciation? 2 ways. Long-term ownership. In my book, I teach you the first step you're doing is asking yourself how many years you're keeping the car. I'm teaching you the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule says this: if you're not buying a car to keep it for at least 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease, not a regular lease, not these leases you see on the commercials. Those are not deals. Deals are not advertised to thousands of people. Deals are when the dealer doesn't want to make the deal, but he's signing it just because I need to sell this car. It's reluctant. Don't send more people in to pay these prices, but here, I'll do this for you. Don't tell anyone else. That's a deal. When you see a commercial, hey, everyone, 10,000 of you, come get this car for this price. That's not a deal. Not advertising this. So let's get back to this now. So now, here's where you are losing. In the 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, those of you who buy your cars, trade them in 3 years, you're losing. You're replacing a depreciating asset and it's when it's losing the most value. You buy it for 40, 2 years later it's worth 28. All right, let me get out of this thing. You lost. You buy it for 40, 4 years later it's worth 16, 18. Oh, let me get out of this. You're supposed to hold, the whole purpose in buying is to get to what I call the reward stage. That's what you saw Jerry said. 8 years he's had the car, paid it off in 6. Now he can keep it. Beat the depreciation. The longer he keeps the car, the less he paid for it over time. Look, Michael, 16 years. You get to the point where this car is now literally not even depreciating. I lose probably $200, $300 a year in depreciation. Some of you like, Deshone, there's no way I'm keeping the car that long. You are the ones who should be shopping for below market leases. Let's make this point. I see you, Delaney, and said I had an Escalade 21 years. Look at your cost per year. Look at your cost per year. I bought a $50,000 Escalade, $60,000 Escalade at the time, however much it was, but I kept it 21 years. How much did that cost me per year? That's the purpose of buying, because you pay more to buy. So now let me show you what below market leases look like to wrap this point up, to show you that there is no comparison. If you are getting regular leases, this is not going to make sense to you. That's why you're going to use my strategies. You're going to get your book in my TikTok bio. Go there. If you went there, you only got 30 minutes to save the 75% off. You won't pay the $97 price. As soon as you visit that website, you see that timer start ticking. You got 30 minutes to get your 75% off and get your book for $24 instead of $97. Now, it's still worth it at $97, but $24 is better. So click the picture of me in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, click that website, and then click the link that says activate the 75% off and get your book. You'll have everything we've been talking about and stuff we didn't have time to talk about in here step by step, and how to get these below market deals. And on YouTube, we have a comment for you, and we have a link for you. And if you're on YouTube, check the comments. If you're on Facebook, check the comment for your link. So now let me show you what below market leases look like. So you take somebody like, let's go luxury, some Teddy. Teddy is, he got a $73,000 BMW. He got it for his highest offer was $1,123 a month. His best offer was $856 a month. Well, I told you, multiple offers. If you're not making dealers bid, you're dealing with the wrong dealers. You're not, when you go and say, oh, well, they told me to lease this car, it costs $600 a month with $3,000 down. That's one dealer told you that. That's why we get 5 to 7 prices from home. So that's what's called a 1.1% lease. Some of you may know the 1% rule with leasing. If you can get a 1%, if your payment is 1% of the MSRP, no money down, no money down. Just giving them your first payment. No, what about the taxes, Deshone? No money down. First payment only. You're going to see all of these people I'm about to show you. They're not going to say, hey, and I gave them the taxes too, and it was 1%. No. All right, so look, somebody like Tope. Tope had a 1.2% lease, $690 a month on a $54,000 vehicle. Almost $55,000 BMW, $690 a month, no money down. Look, look how much she saved off the vehicle. Sitting at home. People in dealerships fighting. Come on, take off another $30. She's sitting at home. She said, look, I got $7,500 off plus another $1,000 from the dealer that bid. And every dealer is not even going to give you the $7,500 rebate. They won't even tell you. But let's go deeper. Look at Kimberly. $86,000 Maserati, $968 a month. She got $20,700 off on this offer here. $20,700 off at home. Look, you're not going to see the Maserati advertise, hey, come drive this new Maserati, $968 a month, $86,000 vehicle, no money down. You'll see, hey, come drive a Maserati, $799 a month with $5,000 down plus taxes and fees. End up probably being about 10 grand once you add it all up. Yeah, you'll see that commercial. You go sign up for that, they'll love you. Hey, I want the deal from the commercial. Oh, come right in, miss. Oh, Miss Jones, a letter. How are you? Okay, can I call you Miss Jones? Yeah, how fast can I get it ready for you? They love you. Go ask for the deal from the commercial. They love you. Look at Charles. Some of you have this vehicle. Hyundai Palisade, $48,000 vehicle, almost 49, $597 a month. No money down. Look, I reached out to 35 Hyundai dealers, and you're like, how do you do that? You might have just jumped on the stream. We do this all online. Takes about 25 minutes to reach out to that many dealers using the stuff in my book, copy and paste scripts. So he had 35 Hyundai dealers, got 10 quotes back. Offers range from 1.2 to 1.6. He said, I never thought I'd be able to afford this car that is almost $50,000 because up until he learned what you just learned, I'm not keeping my cars 8 years. He was buying them. But now that you have the understanding of this and the unseen expense, and you now have a depreciation, whether I buy or lease, I pay for my usage. Whether I buy or lease, if I drive 20,000 miles, it costs me. Which one's going to cost me less? And when you get below market leases, it costs you less. Or when you do like what we spent time shouting out Michael and Antonio and Serafina and Valerie and all of them. So you're either going to go the long run, the distance, get your deal, keep it till the wheels fall off. That's how you're going to beat depreciation, or you're going to get below market leases. But now, $48,000 vehicle, $597 a month, a $50,000 vehicle. This would normally, and let me ask you guys this. Some of you know, every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month? So we can show everyone who doesn't know this how much if he had bought this car, and this is the reason why he said, I never thought I'd even be able to drive this car. Every $5,000 per month on a loan, on a vehicle, is about how much per month? Let's see if anybody's tapped in. Every $5,000. Thank you. Yep, you got it, Zully. $100, $100. Great job, Clarissa. Shout out to the people that's tapped in. I love the people. I love when y'all show me, man. Look, Deshone, I'm tapped in, man. I don't care about anybody else, man. I'm watching my money. I gotta pay attention to this stuff. Yep. Thank you, Aletta. $100. The Bush, $100. So now this is how, when you look at a $10,000 car, you should think $200 a month. $20,000 car, $400 a month. $50,000 car. Okay, that's $1,000 a month on a 5-year loan. That's what should come into your head. That doesn't mean, hey, I might be able to get 5,000 off of it. I might be able to get 8,000 off of it with my best deal. I might be able to get 10,000 off. That has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about just when you look at the car and you say, okay, around about how much is that going to cost me? 50,000, that's about 1,000 a month. 5-year loan. 6-year loan, all right, it'll be a little less, but we don't go longer than 6. And when you go in, and some of you, you've done this, you go in and you look at that $50,000 car and you say, man, get me the 600. Can you give me the 600 a month? Yo, okay. And next thing you know, you're in a 9-year loan and you don't know how you ended up in a 9-year loans because you went in saying, hey, get me the 600 a month, not knowing that car is 1,000 a month. So this is why we have. So going back to Charles' Palisade deal, that Palisade with no money down would have cost him $1,000 a month, 5-year loan. If he stretched it out to a 6-year loan, maybe it cost him $920. Not he's paying $597. What's better coming out of your bank account every month, $597 or $900? Imagine pulling up to someone, you're Charles, right? You pull up in your brand new Hyundai Palisade. They pull up right next to you in the same Palisade. Both of you did 2 no money down deals, and you look at each other and say, oh, man, we got the same truck. Yeah, man, I just got mine. Oh, man, how much you paying? Yeah, man, I know this expensive. You know it. You know this expensive, man. Yeah, I'm right about. I'm close to 1,000 on it, but I no money down though. No money down. How much you paying? Oh no, I'm paying $597 for this. Oh, you had to put a lot of money down. No, I didn't put no money down. Wait, how you get that? Oh, I leased this. I drive it for 3 years. Give them it back. Go get something else. Oh, see, but see. You know, after 6 years, I'm gonna own this. And man, I gotta laugh because this is I gotta laugh to not cry about this. This is what people do. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand about leasing. All these people that told y'all don't lease, they cost y'all money. They got y'all driving these older cars or these cars that are super expensive because you just thought, man, I had to buy the whole car. You done put 10 grand down, 15 grand down. And you're like, man, all right. And here's the thing. It wouldn't be bad if you were keeping the car 8 years. Because after a while, you get to this point, you kept the car, the depreciation cools off. You're like, okay, I kept the car long enough. Let me go and sell it and let me get something else. 8 years is the minimum. But the problem is when people pay those, that dude is like, yo, I'm paying $1,000 a month to drive this Palisade. Okay, but I'm gonna own it after 6 years. But then about year 4, what happens? What happens when he has it about 4 years? About 4 years. Look, the warranty done expired. Now something done went off on the thing. This is not people who are what we call keepers. These aren't people like Valerie and like the people we shouted out. These are I'm talking to you that are stuck in the middle. You know you don't keep cars 8 years, but you go in and you buy them. You take out 6-year loans like you plan on paying them off, or like you plan on doesn't matter. You are losing in depreciation because you keep the car, you buy the car here, as soon, right before the depreciation starts to cool off, you go and flip it and go do it again with a whole nother car. Pay let me ride that wave again. Okay, perfect. Oh, that was no fun. High payment. Let's go get another one. I would get people coming to the Mercedes dealer. Hey man, Deshone, that's the new one. Oh, okay, I got 2 payments left, then I'm gonna come see you for that. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Okay, let me talk to you. Let me show you. You ever heard about leasing? Let me show you what this is gonna look like if you understand what I'm about to break down for you. And they like, oh, wait. So I'm going from a $900 payment. You telling me good deal on this lease, I could be at $500? And what about all the money from my old car? What I do? Oh man, I'm gonna give you that back. You might have 10 grand equity here. You go put that in the bank. Yeah, I used to have to just put that down. What I would do is just whatever my old car was worth, I just put it down on the next car and then roll it and I just kept it moving like that. Nope, not no more. You're not going to keep your money tied up in these depreciating assets. Type dollar signs if you're getting this. You're not going to keep your money tied up in these depreciating assets. Pay attention. Banks don't do it. Banks don't do it. The last thing a bank wants is their money tied up in a depreciating asset that's losing value. So if you're going to keep it long term, tie your money up in it, but then you pay it. I drive this thing till the wheels fall off. Now I'm going to get my money's worth out of this car. But if that's not your goal, you should be shopping for below market leases, paying cents on the dollar, like Charles, like Zafrina, like all of these people who are driving brand new cars that would normally be $600, $700, $800 more, $200, $300 more than what they're paying. Look at Rosalie. Just got a 2024 Infiniti Lux, $60,000 vehicle. Look what she's paying. $592 a month. $592 a month. It's a $60,000 car. $60,000 car, $1,200 a month. Somebody walks in and says, hey, how much that costs? No money down. Man, that's about $1,200. She's paying $597 because her deal is structured right. Leasing versus buying is and look, you add the mileage, Michael. Let me give you an example of somebody, because that was a great question. That's always the next question. Oh, what about the mileage? The worst thing to do is to add, and look, all of this is inside my new digital book. There's a reason it's 5-star rated. Google it. Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Look at all the 5-star ratings. Read the reviews. There's a reason that book's 5 stars, because it's step-by-step on getting below market leases, buying, used cars, everything we've been talking about. If you're like, Deshone, I don't want to remember all of this, get the blueprint. You get there, go to my TikTok bio, get your 75% off. Go to my Instagram bio, click the link, get your 75% off the book. You got the blueprint forever to use every single car deal. You're on Facebook, click the link below, get your book for 75% off. YouTube, get the book for 75% off. Here's an example of how we choose our mileage wisely. This is in step 3. It's deal structure. Look, Jen she leases a $40,000 Honda CR-V hybrid. It would be $800 a month to buy, no money down. She gets her best offer is $512. She gets all the bids from home, $512 a month. Now she says, okay, that's for 12,000 miles per year. I want to go up to 18. After we get our best offer, that's when we go to the dealer, or we email the dealer who sent us the best offer. Hey, congrats, you beat everybody. Can you show me what it is for 18,000 miles per year? Can you show me what it is for 20,000 miles per year? She bumped her payment up. They said, okay, Jen, if you go from 12 to 18, you go from $512 a month to $563 a month. She said, done deal. $40 more, $45 more. I get to drive as much as I need to drive for $45 more per month, instead of me taking 12 like some people do. Oh, Deshone, I'm 7,000 miles over on my lease mileage. What should I do? Why did you take a 12,000 mile a year lease? You know you don't drive 12. To save $40? Now what's going to happen is you go over by 7,000 miles and you're taxed 25 cents per mile. It's going to cost you way more than you would have spent just getting it up front. Part of having a great lease experience is choosing your mileage wisely. We take that very seriously. We don't mess around and we don't do that. And because some people blame the lease, man, I'm not leasing again, man. I leased and I just got all these penalties for the miles. You chose the mileage. You picked the mileage. Don't blame the lease. The lease is an inanimate object. You told them, give me 10,000 a year, knowing you drive 15. Why? To save $40? Now you got a bad lease experience. You could have had a brand new car, great experience, always under warranty. If you would have just did what Jen did, adjust my mileage, give me what I need. So this is how you do it. There's no way you can get a great deal if you purchase, but you should have leased. It's no way. The numbers are so far apart. It's no way. We just broke down. Somebody pulls up in a $1,000 payment compared to somebody with a below market lease. It's a $550 payment. We are so far apart. It's going to take you years to catch up to me because I'm saving $400 a month less than you. That means next month I'm up $800 on you. 3 months I'm up $1,200 on you. If my payment for the same car is $400 a month less than you because you decided to buy and I'm leasing and we're driving the same car, $400 times 12 times 4, $4,800 a year is in my bank account and it's in your car. And we have the same car. Deal structure. So we already hit on, if you just jumped on, we are very big on helping you get to where you need to be. You're either going to be a long-term person. We shouted out all the long-term people. Thank you to everyone who participated. Y'all helped us prove the point. And you can mix it up. One car you might buy, hey, My wife loves keeping cars. We're going to buy her car, keep it for 9, 10, 12 years. But hey, my husband, he doesn't really keep cars more than 6 years. We're going to lease his. You can mix it up, but you need to know when to pull these things out your tool belt. It's beautiful. And we don't buy leases at the end. Muzz, we don't buy leases at the end because all you're doing when you're buying a lease is buying a used car. That's it. So when you're buying your lease, you're buying a used car. You're making a decision. I'm going to buy a used car. The only difference is it's my car. That's it. There's no difference. You can overspend for your lease. There's tons of people who buy their own leases. They never even check the market to see that the price they're buying that lease for is not worth it. The $19,000 they're buying that lease for, the $24,000, whatever, they don't even do a market analysis to see, wait, this is not even a good price to buy this car at. But what you're doing when you're buying your lease is saying, I'm going to buy a used car. Instead of leasing and driving new cars, I'm going to buy a used car. And if you're going to keep it another 8 years, God bless you. Do it. If you're not keeping it another 8 years, you are throwing money out the window because you're going to lose on depreciation. And let me end with this is big. The only people I know that will come into the Mercedes dealer and I look at them and they'd be like, okay, I want to switch this car out. And I look at it and I can see it's not too old. Say, all right, what year is that? Okay, so it's about 5 years old. Yeah, okay. How long have you had it? So I had it since it was new. Now, if somebody said to you, everybody, I want you to answer this. If you saw somebody come in and they had a car, was about 5 years old, and they said they've had it since it was brand new, would you think that car is almost paid off or paid off? Somebody comes in, you see they got a 5-year-old car, you ask them how long they had it. They say, since it was new. Okay, you've had it 5 years. Shouldn't that car either be paid off or almost paid off? Thank you, Antonio. Yep, thank you. Now check this out. These are the only people this happens to. So I could already tell when a person will walk into the dealership, they don't understand leasing because you're already in here replacing a car that you've only had for 5 years. I'm going to show you how, had you leased that car, you'd have thousands more in your bank account right now. And that's what I'm going to transition. That's what Melissa did. When you saw her say, hey, I leased and then I sold my Kia Sportage, she learned the 8-year rule. Step 1 in my book. I don't keep cars 8 years. I'm going to lease. She sold her old car, did the equity assessment, made $12,000, put it in her bank account, leased her new car, no money out of pocket. This is the same thing I'm about to tell this person. But I need to find out how much they owe on that car. Again, we all agreed the car should almost be paid off or paid off. So once we get to the nitty gritty and we're talking numbers, I'm like, okay, so you know how much you owe on this? First bad sign. Nah, I haven't checked. Okay, that's a problem. But it also could be a good problem. It could be, hey, I haven't checked. I've just been paying it, man. I might owe like another $5,000. Okay, no problem. We'll call the bank. We'll see. I have the used car manager look at the car. I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell this person about leasing because they obviously, I asked them, they're not going to keep the next car more than 8 years. They're going to do the same thing. Perfect. We ought to plan, make the customer happy. They're going to love it. They're going to love the low payment. They're going to get the car they want, hundreds less than they thought. This is going to be great. Big check coming back to them. Beautiful. Used car manager says, all right, that car is probably worth about 18. Perfect. I go back to the customer. He doesn't know what he are. Calls the bank. Hey, yeah, I'm calling for Mr. Johnson here. I need the payoff on his 2019, whatever. Okay, yes, the payoff is $19,100. $19,000? What do you mean? I said, look, Mr. Johnson, they're saying you owe $19,000 still on this. Oh yeah, I told you I hadn't checked. Hold on. Didn't you tell me you bought this? You bought this new? You had it since it was new? You've had it 5 years? Yeah. Oh, but you know what? I had leased it for 3 years and then I bought it at the end of the lease. That's the culprit. because you leased the car for 3 years, and then to get a payment similar, you usually have to take a 5 or 6 year loan. Most people, when they buy their lease out, they take a 6 year loan because they like the payment. You leased it for 3, bought it for 6. What's 6 plus 3, y'all? This is why, Muzz, I want you to remember this story for the rest of your life. When somebody says to you, or when you think about buying your lease out, remember this story. 9 years. Nobody who's smart, nobody on here. We might have some young adults on here. We might have some seniors on here. Nobody is signing up for a 9-year loan on a car. Not knowing it. No one. Every time you lease and then buy it out, that's what most people are doing. 9 years of payments on the same car. So you literally could have the car for 5 years. We call the bank to see how much you owe. You still have 4 years of payments left on the same exact car. That's why it's one of the worst things to do. And you're not even happy about it because it's like, oh man, I've had this car for a while, man. That's why buying your lease out, hey man, I was just trying to ride the market out. I wasn't ready to shop, so I just bought the lease out. Bad idea. Bad idea. It's just a bad idea. You could stroke a check for it? Possibly. But I would always shop for a new lease because, again, like I started the story with, when you buy your lease, you're going from a lease, driving new cars. If you're getting below market deals, like you're going to learn in my book, you're driving it for cents on the dollar, and then you're switching to a used car purchase. These are two totally different mindsets. Yep, you lease new cars, Marty. Two totally different mindsets. Buying a used car, you should be somebody like the people we shouted out earlier, the keepers. 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. You should be perfectly fine with maintaining a car. If something breaks on it, I'm going to put money into it. I want to keep this thing. That's buying a used car. Buying a lease is like, hey, I don't want to do none of that. That's buying that. I mean, leasing, I don't want to do any of that. I want to drive new cars, always under warranty. The key is learning how to get below market leases. You can't walk into a dealership and just get a lease. We talked about that earlier. So that is the deal. Leasing is for people who do not keep their cars more than 8 years. Buying is for people who keep their cars more than 8 years. It's no in between. The people in between, you lose everything. You buy your cars, take out 6-year loans, trade them in, losing. Never forget this again. Buy your cars, 5 years, trade them in, you're on a roller coaster to hell. Depreciation, killing you. You're never happy with what your car is worth. Man, I put all this money in, that's all y'all giving me? Depreciation. You buy your leases out, you're stuck in the middle. So get to one side or the other. And you must do this first because, as I said, if you buy but you should have leased, you lost. That's why in step 1 of my book, there's 7 steps. Step 7 is delivery. So some of you who have my book, you should not be at step 7, and I'm about to congratulate you, and you have not done the steps to get to delivery. That book is meant to walk you from home to your delivery of your below market deal. Step 1 is the most important question. How many years are you keeping the next car? What we're saying, AKA, how are we going to beat depreciation? If you say, Deshone, 10 years. All right, we're going to beat depreciation with long-term ownership. Deshone, 3 years. All right, we're going to beat depreciation with a short-term, with a below-market lease. The depreciation question is the first question because we're buying a depreciating asset. It's nothing more important than that. Deal on the right foundation. Some of you who are about to start leasing was like, Deshone, man, I was taught for years, never lease. 20, 30 years, never lease. You're going to make some of your best deals and be your most happy because you should have been leasing 15 years ago, but you listened to bad advice that they never broke down numbers. They never talked about depreciation. They never showed you anything. And they just said, never lease. It's like renting. And you believed it. So it's partially your fault. You believed it. You didn't verify. But there was no one to break down the numbers. I love math, and I've done thousands of transactions. I love breaking down the numbers to show you. All of you who are on here can see. You saw all of those below market lease deals. Buying those cars are nowhere close. Even if you bought a pre-owned version, nowhere close to what these people are paying. So that is the key. All right. All of this is in my blueprint. All of this is in my new book. Some of you like Deshaun, you're like, I don't want to remember all this. It's no way you're gonna remember. I'm gonna remember all of this, Deshaun. Everything is in my new book, step by step. It's a digital book. You can get your copy for 75% off. It's part of our welcome offer. In my TikTok bio, click that picture of me. You'll see a website, and you click the button that says get your book for 75% off. If you're on Instagram, click the picture of me, click the website, and then get your book for 75% off. If you're on YouTube, look in the comments. I have a 75% off link for you there. If you're on Facebook, look in the comments. I have a 75% off link for you. That link is only good for 30 minutes. So if you went there 45 minutes ago when we started, an hour ago when we started the stream, you missed it. So $97. And if I'm you, even if I missed it, I'm getting the book, because we only went over probably 40%, 30% of what we're talking about in there. Squeaky Clean, good to see you. Guy purchased the book. Listen, use it. Congratulations. Send me your stories. Send me your emails. I want you guys DMing me. I want you DMing me, Deshaun. Check this deal out. I want you seeing, look, if those of you on Instagram and YouTube, you can see this. I want you sending me not just your cars, your numbers. Look, everybody who taps in, look, American Senior Benefits. I wanted to share my experience. Purchased my car 2 days after using the system. Now, those of you who want to shop with me, I do shop with people all around the country. It's an advanced thing. That's in my bio too. So I don't care how you get it. Some of you are like, Deshaun, give me the blueprint. I can follow it. Everything's in there step by step. Some of you like, hey, Deshaun, can we do this together? Perfect. You'll see both buttons in my bio. Doesn't matter how you want it. But he says, look, the first day I sent out the template, I received about 7 offers. Day 2, I emailed for my numbers, took the best offer, put them into the calculator. I have a calculator I invented that you get access to in the book. All of you get access to all. I probably have 5 calculators in the book that I've invented. You'll never find them anywhere else. Can't Google them. These are calculators that I literally wrote the code for that we use. One of them is the counter offer calculator. And he said, look, I sent the email counter. The dealer MSRP was $36,365 on the 2025 Kia Sportage X line. Oh man, I gotta go back and get his numbers. I didn't open it up on his Facebook post. I was supposed to hit see more, and I didn't hit it up. All right, so I gotta go. But you can tell he was excited to tell a story, and it's like, dang, I gotta go back and pull him in. But this is what I want. I want you guys emailing me the numbers. Proud of your numbers. Deshaun, look at this. Last thing people want to talk to me about is their numbers. They'll post all day long. Oh, your girl upgraded. I had to treat myself. You know, your boy Fresh had to step out with the 2025. You never hear him talk about numbers. You'll never hear us. You'll never say, oh, y'all won't believe the price I got for this. You'll never hear that, because they're ashamed of it. They're embarrassed by it. If they ran into me and I said, hey, yo, you got your contract on you? You got your purchase order? Oh, yeah, let me look at this. They'd be like, man, they'd be over there sweating like, all right, Deshaun, don't tell. I know I did bad. I've had people say that to me. You know, man, I know I did bad. I'm like, listen, man, don't beat yourself up. I just want to see you do better. I want you knowing, why would you go work hard and then go get this beautiful vehicle and not have the confidence to know you paid less, the lowest price you could have? You shouldn't be ashamed. This is a treat to yourself. But because you didn't know how to shop, you're ashamed. Or we're not doing that no more. You're gonna know how to shop. You're gonna be emailing me, Dad, Deshaun, I got 6 offers. Deshaun, I looked at all these pre-owned cars. The dealer that had the best one, I saw all the service records. I saw the true value discount. I got the price of it when I was new. It was no bogus. It was an hour and a half away. I had to drive an hour and a half away to get it. But look at what I got. And then I let the banks bid. And then, you know, my credit union. You're gonna be like, numbers. You're not gonna be thinking about cars. You're gonna be just as excited about the deal you got as the car you got. That's where you're going. So shout out to everybody. Valerie, the link is in my TikTok bio. You got to click the picture of me, and then you'll see a web link right there. Click that link, and then you'll see a button that says 75% off new book, 30 minutes. Okay, same thing with Instagram. The link is in my bio. Instagram, TikTok, the link's in my bio. On Facebook and YouTube, the link is in the comments. So grab your copy, get there before the 30 minutes runs out. so you can get it for $24 instead of $97. All right. God bless y'all. I will see y'all soon. All of that is answered in the book, Squeaky Clean. Don't worry about that. We protect credit. And you might have missed the segment where we were talking about the bank bidding war. All of this we do. You don't give. See, part of what we didn't even get to. Part of what you need to learn is you don't give dealers quotes. You don't give dealers credit to get quotes. We couldn't even go into that. Credit is not in my templates we never give dealers our credit to get quotes. That's what the 80% will tell you though. Hey, Jim, we can't give you credit. Yeah, just fill out this credit app so I can give you a quote. They lock you in. We don't do that. All of that is explained in the book. All right. God bless you. I will see y'all in the next stream. Everyone who got your book, send me your success stories. Go out and be empowered. Go out and win in this world, and make sure you send me your results. All right. God bless you.